Welcome to the Other 99% podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Duck, a coffee-loving direct sales enthusiast who's obsessed with a good digital system. Come join me for a realistic look into the world of direct sales. We'll explore inspiring perspectives, learn about unique business tips, and celebrate success stories that often go untold. Because on the Other 99%, every seller matters. Hey everyone, it is me, Lisa, and welcome back to another episode of the Other 99%. I am super excited to have my friend here, Shelly. I met Shelly through our Epicure business, and I just think Shelly is an awesome person. She is in it to win it for sure. And I thought it was very important that she come on and share her story so she knows how great she is. So Shelly, can you jump on in and tell the listeners who you are, what you do, and all that stuff?
Hey everybody, I'm Shelly Rand and I'm in direct sales with Epicure, which I absolutely love. I think everybody knows that. And I'm also a grandma. And they kind of coincide because my granddaughter absolutely loves Epicure and she is a big part of my business.
Awesome. Now, how long have you been with Epicure, Shelly?
Uh, 3.5 years now.
Great. So when you're working your business, like I'm assuming that you do it as a part-time gig or full-time gig. What do you do?
Full
Full-time? Okay. And how are you currently working? Like what do you do? Do you do in person? Are you online? Like tell us how you do your business and how you get your sales.
Completely online, all social media.
Awesome.
I mean, I get the odd when somebody comes to my home, but it's all social media.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about social media because I mean, that your social media wasn't your first love. I mean, I know that there's things where you were, you know, skeptical about getting behind the camera and doing things. But tell the listeners like what you did. I mean, you just did something recently with like a 90-day challenge. So talk a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah, Deborah challenged me to do the 90-day challenge, which was kind of hard. It took me a little bit longer than 90 days because I kept forgetting, but it was basically just being raw and being open and honest and personal public profile.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I did for, well, over 90 days, but the 90-day challenge.
And I noticed that you're picking up on your reels and you're getting more things out there. So, um, how was it trying to get reels done?
The reels, once I figured out how to do them, I love them. I absolutely love reels. I just forget about them once in a while and then I hop back on that train. The going live still is not one of my favorite things, but I do them. My granddaughter absolutely loves them. Every time she walks through my door, it's not Grandma, I love you. It's not hi Grandma. No, nothing like that. It's Grandma, are we doing a live? As soon as the Epic box shows up, she grabs my iPad. She's got the Epic box. She's got it set up and she goes, are you ready?
That's awesome that you have like a little cheerleader there. That's so great. So can you tell us I mean, you've been in direct sales for 3.5 years. Did you have any other businesses before that, or is the 3.5 years your first entry into direct sales?
Oh no, I've been doing direct sales off and on since my early 20s.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember when Sensi came to Canada. I was
Mm-hmm.
one of the reps then.
Ah, awesome. So you have a lot of experience and a lot of know-how and stuff like that with direct sales. So in your direct sales business, I want you to think about it. It could be with Epicure, it could be with another business, but tell me something that you're most proud of.
Epicure, I'm gonna have to go with because it's the community, like the Epicure community itself. It's our organization's community. It's more than that. It's a family, and that's why I think I've stuck with Epicure so long,
Mm-hmm.
and I plan on staying with it even longer, is because of the family we have. Like, we can reach out to one another. We're on different teams. It doesn't matter. We're all there for one another and to support one another, not, you know, any bad things. We're a family.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. I'm with you 100% on that. Now, we were just talking before we hit the play or the record button. Of course, all the good conversations happen before you hit the record. But we were talking about how I contacted you because I feel that your story needs to be heard because you show up. You show up for everything. So, can you give the listeners a little bit of a behind the scenes look at like some things that you're doing, like those papers behind you on your board there? Like talk about some things that you're currently doing in your business that you're doing because you're showing up and being present.
Um, I, well, those are the bingo that Epicure currently has going on, which, let's go bingo. I'm going to get it. I am going to win. It's just fun, and it's fun to encourage one another. Like, I'm, whether I get a bingo or not, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a bonus, but
Hmm.
it's about encouraging one another, and it's the excitement behind it. Um, I sign up for any free training I can find out there. If it's positive, I'm doing it,
Hmm.
as long as it's not like at 2 o'clock in the morning, because I'm hopefully sleeping. But I mean, and that's what it's about, because you need to learn, even if it's out of your comfort zone, which a lot of things are out of my comfort zone, but that's what it's all about. And it's about learning and constantly learning.
And I know when I reached out to you about being a guest, you were like, "Oh my God." So I'm super, super impressed that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone here and you're doing amazing. And I'm sure the listeners would agree. You're an awesome person, and I'm so excited that I'm able to introduce you to my listeners. So I want you to tell us, is there one piece of advice or a tip that you heard or a quote that you heard through your years in direct sales that you think that every direct seller needs to hear?
Okay, there's two things here, because I thought this one, and the quote, I will say, this one I just heard not long ago, but it's actually on my wall over there. And it's, stop expecting you from other people.
Mm-hmm. That's
That
awesome.
one really, really hit me when I read that one, because a lot of us do that. And then when we're not getting what we expect from other people, we we let ourselves down.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Everybody's their own person, and we are who we are. And then I was in a training yesterday, and it was with, I'm going to say her name just because I'm quoting her.
Mm-hmm.
It was with Dana Wild, and it was, the superhero pose.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, do it with me. Come on. We're all straight faced doing it. And when you look at all those pictures, what do you notice? Nobody's smiling.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start doing that, start smiling, because it will make a big difference. She is absolutely right.
Yeah.
It does make a difference. I used to do that. I write a morning post every morning to my VIP group,
Mm-hmm.
and I lay out what's going on in the Epicure world. But I also let them know what's going on with me, how I'm feeling. And I used to do that where I would tell them, all right, everybody stand up, do the pose. And I do the dot, 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 dot. We had to do it for 1 minute.
Yeah.
I need to start doing that again, but I need to add in there that we need to smile.
That's awesome. Yeah. I remember my days back with Mary Kay. One of the things that we were told, because back then it was pick up the phone, get on the phone, do the stuff. And we were always told to be standing up, looking in a mirror and smiling while we were on the phone. And it makes a huge difference because the tone of your voice when you smile, the tone, everything changes when you put that smile on your face. Like, it's that resting bee face that that gets you in trouble, right? I
Yes,
I I I don't want to say the word because I don't want to have to put that there's explicit language in the in the podcast. So, but you know what I mean? It's like, and I find myself, I'm like that all the time. It's like I'll get on the Zoom and it's like, oh, okay. I better smile because I have that bee face on, but it's not intentional, but it definitely brings your mood up. It brings your excitement about everything with just putting that little smile on your face. So, thank you so much for sharing that. All right. So I want to know if our listeners want to connect with Shelly, where can they find you?
Facebook is the best place to find me.
Okay.
And Shelly's VIP Epicure Corner.
Okay. I'll make sure I get that link to link it in the show notes so that people can join you there. But thank you so much, Shelly, for joining us. I hope you had a great time and it wasn't too stressful. And I'm so proud of you for coming out of your comfort zone here. But I hope everybody else enjoyed listening, and we will see you on the next episode of The Other 99%. Take care. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to listen to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you would take a minute to rate and review the podcast, I would absolutely love it. And if you know someone who really needs to hear this podcast, please feel free to share it with them. More listeners, the better. And if you know someone who would like to be a guest on the podcast, or you yourself would like to be a guest, be sure to check the link in the show notes or visit lisaduck.com and click Be a Guest. We'll talk to you soon.